Boom.
Boom.
Good evening, Anthony.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
How's that countdown? That's like, when the judges at the CrossFit comps and they're sort of doing their 5, 4, 3, 2.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
It's pretty
Yes.
hard that. It's pretty hard that. Whenever I'm judging someone, I cannot do because then I got to go like that. And then
That's because you showed why, because you went like this. You did something weird.
I just can't do it.
You
I
just
just can't do it.
go 5, 4. Oh, now you got
Yeah,
me scared of that.
you can't do it either, mate. You can't.
5, 4. No, you go
Well,
like that. 4, 3, 2, 1,
nah.
go.
Well,
Yeah, I
that's
can
how
do it.
you make mistakes. We'll ask our special guest tonight what he
Well, ask
thinks.
him what he thought about the judging. What
Yeah,
he thought
yeah,
about
yeah.
the judges. So,
Anything exciting for you in the last 2 weeks since our last podcast?
how good was Torian, man? How good was Torian? How
Spectacular.
good was Torian? And
It is
Torian was fantastic for us as well, Dave, because we just we secured our next like 4 guests from that
yeah,
that one
yeah.
day.
It's ripper.
We just walked around and went, "Hey, you want to be on the podcast?" And
Well, they're banging on the door wanting to get on the show.
absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
just joking. If you're
So,
watching, please like and subscribe, grow the channel, and join in the chat with our guests. That's why we do it as a live stream. We want a live stream because it allows that engagement. Lots of send your text messages in, or on the comments, and we will show them on the screen. And you can ask the questions for us. We can just chill out, and you can ask all the questions. But
yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty
and the other
cool.
thing is, the other good thing since last week is that I can breathe. I can breathe.
Yes,
Remember last
you're not coughing. You're not coughing
I
up a
had
lung.
I had the oxygen tank on last time.
I know you did.
That
You
was
did.
that was horrendous. That was absolutely horrendous. But it is nice to be a nice open airways after developing acute severe asthma.
And you smashed today's workout. Like I thought I was going to get you today. I honestly thought I was going to get you. I was keeping up with you, and then all of a sudden you just went.
It was a good
And
workout.
all these other people were in front of me, but then I realized that they didn't do as much skiing. They just went between the row and the bike. You and I did row, ski, bike,
Yeah,
row, ski,
just
bike.
around the circuit, just like a cardio
Just
circuit.
continually go around it. Yes.
15 calories each machine. Try it, guys. 15 calories each machine. Row, bike, ski erg, 20 rounds. 20 rounds, 15 calories on each machine. Went up to 300 calories, and you were aiming for about 20 minutes. So, it was good. It's good fun.
I think 20 minutes is pretty.
After a very busy day, I reckon we should not waste too much more time. And
because this is one of the people that we spoke to at the Torian who was very kind to come on and wanted to come on. So fantastic.
I'll bring him on so you don't double.
He's sponsored by Redback. He's sponsored by our big sponsor, Redback.
Yay, Redback.
Nathan Corden. Hey Nathan, how you going, mate?
Hey guys, how we going? Hey,
where's your
best grips in the game?
Have you got your grips there, right, Nathan? Or are they tucked away in the gym bag?
They're in the gym bag. They're in the home gym, all scattered around the floor.
You must have like 3 or 4 pairs, right? You must have a pair at the CrossFit gym, a pair at home, a pair in the car. Like, how many pairs do you have, Nathan?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 10 plus.
Oh,
I could probably get a little bit into that later on, but
okay.
Fortunate enough for me, my gym is actually at my home. So if I ever forget something at home, I don't have to go too far to go pick it up. So I can walk probably about 3 meters and walk into my back door. So love the Redbacks. Been with them from the start, and
how long ago is the start? When did you acquire Redback as a sponsor?
Pretty much from the get-go. So a little backstory on that is I know you guys have had Matthew Flesser on the pod.
Yep.
Obviously he is the owner of Redback. So not to kind of blow my head up even more, but I was a part of the designing side and the developing side of the redback grips. Matthew and I have known each other for quite some time, and obviously we've worked together in the past, and we really like to kind of, you know, nitpick on CrossFit equipment and you know, accessories that you will use, and grips was a big one that we kind of caught our eye. So when he kind of came up with the idea that he kind of wanted to start, you know, his own brand and start, you know, producing and making the redbacks, I kind of put my hand up to say, hey, let me help you. So I was one of the testers.
Are you a stakeholder?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not that involved. More just out of the kindness of my heart. So I was one of the test dummies on all the grips that we started bringing through and stuff like that. So it was a
what did you contribute? What did you contribute in terms of the design elements of these?
So that's one of our like first designs that we kind of came out. We've definitely changed, not too much, because we didn't want to be chopping and changing too much while we grew the brand and the designs. So just the little things that not a lot of people would see when they look at a grip. You know, they would. I think the first things they think of is, you know, am I going to have finger holes, or am I going to have, you know, just a full coverage over the top? So when it comes to the designing of the grip, obviously the shape of the grip, the design of the buckle, obviously the wrist wrap around it, just trying to, you know, get the right feel. And it's one of those things where you're kind of building this product in the unknown. You know, you're not sure what everyone likes. You know, do they like the thinner wrist wrap? Do they like the thicker? You know, you don't know what people like. So you're trying to cater for everyone. So we then obviously went back and we brought out the thinner wristband, and then obviously later on we've developed and have the thicker wristband as well. So I've kind of seen it grow from the start, and Matt is someone that is very, very switched on and very, you know, been around the CrossFit space for quite some time. So just listening to him on you know, how he kind of wanted to build the brand and the products is really cool as well. So and as I said, calling him a friend as well is the cherry on top. So
well, I love it because, like, you know, when we were starting the podcast, you know, no one knows us anything. No one sort of is going to think that they're going to get much traction by affiliating or collaborating with us. And as soon as I reached out to Matt, and I just like met him at comps when he'd set up a little stall and just say hi. You know, I haven't got as many grips as you, but I've certainly tried a few, and I was just chatting. And so I just sent him a message, and he goes, yeah, no problem. So he helped sponsor the show, and we've had a couple of like little online comps, just, you know, challenges that we then hand out free grips to people who do best in the challenges, and he just was very obliging. So, you know, we try to pay it back.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah.
Good grips, good guy.
That's awesome.
So
sure.
Works well. So, and it makes us different because we're not Frog. We're not any of those other brands, right? We've got a unique style.
That's probably a story for another time.
So, but yeah. So, but I noticed, Nathan, like you said, your home gym. You're associated with CrossFit Bly, is it?
Bill.
So CrossFit Bill. So
CrossFit Bill.
So CrossFit Bill Athletic is owned by Adam and Jaylee Manzi. And I met them when they previously was in partnership with another affiliate, and got to know them through that. And then obviously them going out on their own, I've always kind of been around the gym, not as much in the gym, due to the gym is actually on the other side of the Gold Coast. I'm kind of up the northern end, and they're down south a little bit. So, but they always welcome me with open arms, and I've got a lot of respect for Adam and Jaylee, especially what they do for the CrossFit community. You know, they build a community down there at Bill, and it's incredible to see. And I usually do all my qualifiers down there. You know, they welcome me with open arms for, you know, the open quarterfinals, any kind of, you know, online competitions where I can't do those, you know, competitions at home. So I kind of reached out to Adam and said, hey, like, obviously I'm not going to be training out of the affiliate, but, you know, can I represent the gym? And obviously, you know, they were over the moon for that. So very, very, very thankful for them. And obviously going into Torian this year as an individual. Last year, I actually competed on a team with Jaylee from CrossFit Bill. So yeah, I've got a lot of time, a lot of respect for Adam and Jaylee down at CrossFit.
Did you finish third in the teams or something that I saw?
We did, and it's a little bit bittersweet because the qualifying process was the same as it has been for God knows how long. Last year, we would have actually made the games.
The games, yeah, but you didn't go because I didn't see you, and I was like,
no.
Hang on,
so they changed it. So obviously last year they had the online team semifinals. That was the qualifying process to make the game. So you couldn't actually get your spot through the in-person competition, which was a shame because
it was all online, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was all online. So which was a shame. But
and you didn't do that. Did you do the online events as well as the Torian in person?
No, not for the team. No, we didn't.
What was the rationale? What was the rationale there? Why didn't you just, you know, rock on up to Bill and do them?
They actually had another team registered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had another team registered, which they did do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they did do the online qualifiers. They went on and did that, but then we obviously had the Torian Pro team, which was different as well. So they tried and attempted to do that. I think they just missed out as well. So, but yeah, if it was the same qualifying process, then yeah, I would have gone to the games last year.
Oh man,
there's still time. There's still time, Nathan.
On your bio, you have to change that to potential Games Athlete 2025. should have been a Games Athlete 2025.
That's it.
They changed the rules. Otherwise, we would have been there. So,
and where is CrossFit Bill? Like, where is it? Is it Southport end or
it's down in Burleigh Heads?
Burleigh, okay. Burleigh,
yeah. Okay. So they kind of went out on their own a couple of years ago.
Did it used to be called Urban, or was that what it used to be called? Or is that is that something that right?
Okay. But yeah, that's a bit of a touchy subject.
There's no Urban CrossFit anymore, or CrossFit Urban.
There's not. No.
Okay.
Being rebranded.
Right. And is it a big gym? Is it like, what's it like? Did you used to train there for a long time?
A bit. Yeah. So obviously, all last year was training there quite frequently. Obviously, being on the team, they kind of have, 4 or 5 different areas.
Wow.
Gym. So it's in like an industrial area. They've got their main floor gym, which they do their kind of day in, day out CrossFit. They then have their outdoor gym, which is almost just like for their open gym time. They have a big outdoor rig and, enough space there for people to train their outside of classes and stuff. They then have Bill Fit, which is like a kind of cut off from the actual main floor, which is almost just like your functional fitness conditioning type of classes and stuff. They do a bit of strength and conditioning, but a little bit of more conditioning pieces there as well, which is not so much the CrossFit focused, kind of high skill work, heavy weightlifting, gymnastics and stuff like that. And then they have their own little kind of weightlifting room as well. So the area that they have and the space that they have is unreal. So we don't have many big gyms, CrossFit gyms on the coast. So it's definitely a very well based gym.
Right. So you said the low skill area, that's where all the high rocks people go, is it?
I would say so, yeah.
Right, okay. Cool. What is it called?
That's Dave's one. He's always got to give a bashing to Ross every time he gets a chance.
Why is it called CrossFit Bill? BIL. There's only one L. How does that come about?
So don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure it is named after Jaylee's grandfather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Jaylee's side of the family, I actually knew before CrossFit. I used to play footy, or I used to play rugby league. Sorry, with a few of her brothers growing up. So growing up playing rugby league, and so I actually played rugby league with a few of her brothers, and they are so family based, and they're a beautiful family. They're so welcoming and stuff like that. So I think it's named after Jaylee's grandfather, who's obviously, his name was Bill. But don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, they're very family based. And so I'm pretty sure it is named after him.
So in honor of Grandpa, right? That's really nice.
That's
it. And so you moved to the northern end of the Gold Coast, or were you always there, even last year?
Yeah, no, always been in the northern end. Kind of moved towards the northern end when I met my wife. Obviously she lived more this way. I actually grew up more down in the south end, towards Varsity. Varsity Rabina way. So I went to school down there and played footy down there. And then when I met my wife, ended up kind of moving up north to Upper Coomera way. So
it's so funny that you say moving up north. It's like 20 kilometers. Like you didn't. It's not like you moved across the country or anything.
No, no. Northern Gold Coast, just northern Gold Coast.
Yeah, just northern Gold Coast.
So it's not. You're not as bad as the people from Noosa. When they what do I have to come to Brisbane? Like, it's like Noosa's this sort of isolated island, and you need a special visa to go there, right? And when you ask them to leave Noosa, like my patients, what, I have to come to Brisbane to see you? It's like, oh my god. But all right, so you're a Gold Coast boy, and what about surfing, mate? Are you a swimmer and surfer as well?
No, not. I'm definitely not a surfer. Obviously, funny enough, little bit of a backstory. So I actually was born in the UK.
Okay.
So I was born in the UK. Moved here when I was 4. It's just me, mum and dad. I'm an only child. So I usually say I was born in England and bred in Australia. Yeah. And
are your parents English? Are your parents Poms?
Through and through.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Through and through. So it's quite funny because when people meet my parents and they obviously hear them talk and then they hear myself talk, there's a couple of strange faces going on and thinking like, this doesn't sound right, or this doesn't link up right.
Yeah.
But obviously moving here, at such a young age, and obviously coming through school here, I kind of picked up the accent pretty quickly, and obviously they, having 30 plus years over there, they've still got that English
twang. Yeah.
So.
Yep. Got it. Cool. But what were we saying? We were saying
Surfing, yes.
yes,
No,
yeah.
I'm not a surfer. I'm not a surfer. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not really a beachy type person. You know, I'm not a person
You're
that's
the
going to be getting
worst
up.
person to live at the Gold Coast.
I
Why?
know, I know.
Why,
I
Nathan? You
don't.
live at the Gold Coast. You can go to the beach every single day. Tomorrow, you need to go to the beach with your kids. That's what you need to do.
My kids love the beach. My kids would probably live at the beach. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not one of these people that's, you know, kind of getting up on a Saturday morning and going for a walk along the beach and stuff. Even though that's quite nice, and I know probably the wife would enjoy that. Yeah.
You're going to get your kids into nippers while you're down there? You're going to get your...
You know what? I maybe, I don't know if they would be into it. I'm not really.
Best thing I did. Like we used to we traveled from, like basically like Logan Hyperdome area, like Shayla Park, where I live. We traveled every week, down for nippers and down to Currumbin. So we did nippers at Currumbin. They were awesome. They were awesome because, and we literally, like, as my eldest actually, you know, got reasonably good at it, like we had to start going down 4 times a week because there was like 2 trainings in the middle of the week plus the weekend and carnivals and all that sort of stuff. But I have no doubts about his skills at the beach. I've never ever had to worry. Whereas I go into the water and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure I should get in the water here. He'll go out the back, catch waves, do whatever. He's just, you know. So get your kids into it, man. It's such a good skill to have.
Yeah, and I've seen, you know, friends get their kids into it and stuff like that. To be honest, I don't know how much my kids would actually enjoy it. So, but you never know. You know,
I don't think they like.
Try.
It's really interesting because you don't, like, when you look at most of them, and they do this ridiculous thing when they're like, you know, I think it's about 7 or 8 when they go up from the, you know, the little ones to the first thing, and they've got to go and do a swim to prove that they can do nippers for that year. They've got like a qualification swim, and it's always like in about September, October. It's grey, it's cold, and you're sending your child who's like 7 or 8 years of age out like 150 meters off the beach, and my wife's looking at me just going, I don't think we should be doing this. And I'm like, it'll be fine, it'll be all right, get in the water, go, it's all good, it's all good.
You're building their confidence.
Yeah, so it worked for our eldest son. Our youngest son was like, I'm not doing that. And he just said no. But yeah, but once they've done it and they've built that kind of, because I think all of them are scared to do something like that. They all look at it and go, oh my God, there's huge waves and all that sort of thing. But, you know, but healthy respect for the ocean is a good thing, I think. Considering you live there, Nathan.
I know. I don't. Well, being in Upper Coomera, I don't feel like I live on the beach. So that's one thing. You know, it's a good 25-minute drive to the beach from where I am.
That is true.
You know,
You're like you basically live at Dreamworld. So
yeah, other side of the motorway. Yeah, so I'm very close. So
yeah. How would you go? How would you go?
Maybe.
How would you go if a swimming event was programmed? Like, imagine Torian day 1, we're going to the pool. We're not going to Mount Cootha.
I mean, I'm not the worst swimmer. I have definitely been humbled once or twice in a swimming event, and this is a really good thing of where you find a weakness and you work on it and you put in the time and effort. So I little story is I did a competition and it had a swim in it, and I got humbled bad, really bad, and I was actually a pretty good swimmer in school. I did swimming lessons in school, outside of school, and was pretty decent at it. Hadn't done it for a number of years, and doing it in this event, I remember coming out of the pool and really having this big reality check, not for more of the CrossFit sense, but just more of a swimming survival sense.
Oh, right.
So anyway, I kind of looked at my options to see what I could do. And I actually found a local triathlete group that used to swim at one of the local pools close to me. And on Thursdays, every morning at 4:30, 5 o'clock, I would get up and I would go and swim with this triathlete group. Now, these guys, you'd walk to the pool and, these guys are just kind of your everyday Joes. They're accountants, they work, your typical 9 to 5, they have families and stuff like that. Wouldn't think that they were triathletes at all. So much respect. So
lap
much
after
respect.
lap after lap.
Oh, incredible swimmers.
Breathing right, breathing left. Perfect.
Yeah, and I would do the sessions, but I would do the full sessions in fins.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And still get my ass handed to me. you know?
Yeah.
So that was a big eye opener. So if to answer your question, if there was a swimming event, I'm gonna say mid pack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say mid pack.
It's great that those type of things are good though, because if you practice the skill, the results will come. It's not like you have to get stronger in your lats or your neck or your shoulders. You just have to develop the coordination for the swimming stroke.
The technique.
The technique, just like snatch or
you could be the fittest man or woman on earth. If you do not have that technique down, then you're going to struggle. It's. I have so much more respect for swimmers when I joined that group.
Cool. But do you think like the challenge that you had in that event that you said you got humbled in, was it combined with, I guess, doing the other things? Like I think like there's a difference between getting in the pool and doing laps versus being completely kind of, doing something that's like really strength based, like, front squats or jumping on a salt bike and then jumping into the water, because you're already struggling for breath. And then you enter into an environment which is rather challenging. So was it the combination of things, or was it just, was it like if you just jumped in the pool, I feel like it's different, is it not?
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely the combination of the workout. It was kind of an Indian file flow workout with a certain amount of meters swim into double dumbbell devil's press. And
so
you
you feel like you want to throw up before you get in the pool.
So I think it was just the combination of the workout. And my teammates were very strong swimmers, where it was very quick transitions for them for the swim. So my rest time was obviously less than what theirs was. I definitely think it was the combination of the style of workout.
So tell me, Nathan, if you're training by yourself, like how do you keep the motivation up? Like, do you have some training partners to train with? I can't see your wife training on any of your Instagram. I can't see your kids; they're a bit young. So who's driving you, or are you doing this all by yourself?
That's a great question, and that is probably the number one question that I get asked. Now, I don't really know the full answer to that, but the one that comes to my mind straight away is I'm obsessed with the process and I'm obsessed with the sport. And it's one of those things where I'm a type of person where I love routine and I like my routine to be structured day in, day out. And my routine is getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and going out to train. It sets me up for a good day. It sets me up, for just that good feeling that I need. Now, I have no training partners. Yes, I don't. My wife doesn't train. My kids are I would say assistant coaches, you could say. So they they do come out with me most mornings, and they will sit out there and they will watch me. They will color, they will draw, they will cheer me on.
Are they no repping you?
They know not to know rep me, because then that then they'll see the competition daddy come out, and yeah, I don't think we want that. Yeah, I do it because I love it. No matter what, if I'm training for a competition or I'm just training to train, I still want to be out there, and I'm still getting up, at 4 o'clock in the morning to go out there and train. So I think the true answer is just I'm obsessed. I love it. I love the health and fitness side. I always have. It's always been a passion of mine. Training has always been a big thing for me. So I think it's just more of I do it for me.
4
That's
a.m.
pretty
could be
impressive.
4 a.m. could be a bit of a reason why your wife doesn't join you.
That's very true. That's very
She'll be
true.
like, okay, see you, Nathan. Good night. Bye. When
sure.
did you start? When did you start? Like, where does your CrossFit journey begin? How old?
Yeah. I'll try and keep this as short as I can, because I like to tell the full story and it can be a bit long. But
okay.
so I kind of found CrossFit in around 2016 when I was playing rugby league. So as I say, grew up playing rugby league, and didn't really do too much about it. Just had heard about it, kind of in one ear out the other kind of thing. And 2018. 2018, I kind of played my final year of footy due to I got too many concussions within the season, and I started having a few kind of post-concussion symptoms. Kind of 2-3 weeks later after having the concussion, and had a few doctors say, "Look, you're going down a path that this could not be good for you." Now, rugby league was my life as a kid. It was what CrossFit is now to me. That was me as a young kid. So it was very hard to have to hang the boots up and kind of step away from it. And I just needed to find something to fill that hole. And I was probably about 21 at the time. And I was kind of into the gym, as any young guy is, more bodybuilding training. I loved kind of the bodybuilding style of training. So I was just kind of doing your typical, chest and tries, back and bis, leg, shoulders, splits, and stuff like that. And I kind of myself to be like, I need to change, and I need to fill that hole that rugby league kind of has taken.
Was rugby league training intense like CrossFit?
It was.
Yeah.
Not as intense as the training that I'm doing now. No. Like obviously you have your conditioning side, you have your strength and conditioning side, and it was hard. Definitely, it was intense. But I definitely think CrossFit's intensity is definitely up there.
Next level, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like you had to feel the intensity of rugby.
No.
But just go gym bodybuilding didn't hit the spot for you.
Yeah, it didn't give me that kind of adrenaline dump that rugby league did. So I kind of said to myself, I was like, okay, I'm either gonna choose another sport, or I could maybe give this CrossFit thing a go. I was actually going to start MMA training, funny enough. I was a big MMA and I'm a big UFC fan.
That wouldn't have been good for concussion, Nathan, if you're coming from one concussion sport to another.
That's counterintuitive. Was that decision because of the concussion?
Yeah, it was. It was kind of like, okay, I could come out of the sport and go back into a sport where it could probably do more damage. So that's where I saw
if you knew your wife, then she probably would have smacked you around a little bit more and given you some more concussion.
For sure, she definitely looked at me with a strange look to be like, are you serious? Like, did you just get a concussion? Because that doesn't make sense.
Okay. All right. So you made it. You did make a good decision and didn't go into Muay Thai.
I
Muay
finally made the decision, and
yeah.
I just kind of looked up, local CrossFit gyms.
Okay.
And there was a local kind of, it wasn't a CrossFit affiliate, but it was a functional fitness gym that did CrossFit classes.
Had you seen something on YouTube? Had someone told you about CrossFit?
I had
where was that? Where did that come?
Yeah, so I remember watching a clip on YouTube and on, I think it was CrossFit.com, and it was Dan Bailey doing a workout, and I think it was at CrossFit HQ, and it was like 5 rounds, 400-meter run, 15 toaster bars and double unders and all this kind of stuff. And I remember watching it and being like, who is this guy? It's like, he looks like that, performing at this high level like that. I was like, I've got to learn more. I've got to find more. And then I remember watching, obviously the classic video of, I think it was like Matt Fraser in 2015 snatching 315 pounds. And to look at him just kind of looks like, your normal average guy lifting this incredible heavy weight. And I was like, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
And I watched every video, every documentary, every movie or anything. That was it. That was my new obsession. And after watching so many videos and stuff like that, actually trying some of the movements out in a Globo gym, or even going to a CrossFit gym, and I actually have those videos of me trying to snatch. And probably back then thinking that I've just won the CrossFit Games. Looking at it now, thinking, oh wow.
Yeah, you just watched one of the best in the world snatching Matt Fraser, and you think, oh, I'll just go and do that in the Globo gym. And this is not that easy.
Yeah. And and dropping the weights in a Globo gym is always, is always looked on as a good activity to do. So drop the, from a snatch and drop the bar. so.
That's it. You definitely turn a few heads.
I think I know that video with Dan Bailey. Was that where he was running around the HQ in the car park? Yes. That's exact. And he was absolutely thrashing it. But I thought, this is so weird. Like, this is weird training. They're running around a car park, and then he's just picking up this skipping rope and doing double unders. And then I think it was just such an unusual activity. But you could just see the power output. Yeah. And how intense and difficult it was. And he just looks like a superhuman. He looked like Batman, with just ripped abs and traps and delts. And you think, shit. That's the type of media that got me hooked as well. Just like, and once you see one, you just type in CrossFit, and like there's just this domino effect that every video makes you want. Yeah, it's a rabbit hole, exactly. And you just want to watch more, and then exactly like you said, you just become hooked. So that was about 10 years ago. So you were what you said you were like, how old were you? About 18, 19.
So that video would have come out probably 10 years ago. I didn't see it till the end of maybe 2018.
Yeah.
So
how old are you now? How old are you now then? Are you
29?
29. Okay. Gotcha.
So I turned 29 on the Monday after Torian.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
So
happy birthday.
Usually, thank you. Torian usually lands on my birthday. So well, it's either on my birthday or on my wedding anniversary, funny enough. So it's either one or the other. So unfortunately, it's for my wife, 1 year, the celebration of our marriage is at the Torian Pro. So.
At the Torian Pro. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. Go do King Arthur 2.0.
Exactly.
Should we talk about Torian? Let's talk about your Torian experience as an individual. Is that the first time is that like the biggest comp that you've done, or what's your CV? What's your CrossFit CV?
CrossFit CB. So I've been to Torian 4 times actually. 2 as an individual and 2 on a team. So my first year was 2021 when it first came around, and I went on a team. And we were a young team. Shout out to the rookies. We were called, and
have they gone on to aspirations of greatness as well, or?
Funny enough, 2 of them actually train at Bill.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them actually train at Bill. Cody and T, they're at Bill now, and our other girl Bella is actually living up north. She's actually a police officer.
Okay.
Still dabble in CrossFit, but I think just stepped away a little bit from the competing side. So, yeah, 2021 was my first year at Torian on a team. Loved it. Great experience. You know, it was unreal. I can still remember kind of each day like it was yesterday. So finished there, and then kind of wanted to go down that individual path. Then, and obviously then started kind of transferring into the individual side. So you'll probably like this one, Dave. At the end of 2021, I actually got a pretty bad back injury. I blew 2 discs in my lower back, my L5S1, and actually ended up in hospital, and it was pretty severe. Yeah, pretty severe to the point where they were actually going to do surgery.
Okay.
So was in hospital for 4 days on my back, couldn't move, and was kind of like, okay, what's next? And then after the 4 days,
stay away from doctors. That's my advice, Nathan. Stay away from doctors.
Yeah. Okay. I will take that advice from a doctor.
Now you just come and see Dave if you've got a back issue, Nathan. That's what you do.
Was this through the public system at the Goldie or private? Public?
No, it was public. So yeah, went through that, and then obviously went for another scan to see where I was at, and the doctor, head surgeon or whoever came in and said, mate, you need to go buy a lottery ticket. He goes, by the looks of it, your discs have kind of come back into place and are sitting quite nicely. And they said, look, it's going to be probably just some rehab, some physio type stuff, and you should be good to go. So anyway, that was me leading into the 2022 season. Did the individual qualifiers, obviously didn't make it. Then obviously trying to push for 2023. And went into 2023 really, really confident. I had my own coach for the majority of that time. So felt really good. Went into the quarterfinals, did all the workouts, felt really good. And qualified in the top 30, and then got a big penalty on one of the workouts that knocked me down big time. So missed out in 2023 again. And then 2024 was fortunate enough to go back as an individual for the first time.
So what is that from the video reffing or whatever? Is that what you?
Yeah, the video review. I don't know if you guys remember in 2023, one of the quarterfinals workouts, it was a 1,000-meter row, 50 GHDs, 1,000-meter row, 50 V-ups. And I think it was like a 20-minute AMRAP of or some sort. And this is where the kind of GHD movement standard had started about where the hits go and stuff like that. And I came off the rower on the 3rd round of something like that. And I think I had maybe like 30 seconds left. So it was just sell your soul. However many reps you want to, you can get out in those 30 seconds, go for it. And I did. And obviously they just said my hips kept moving forward in front of where the center line was. So all of those reps got no reps. And my score originally, I was actually 1 rep behind Ricky Garrard in that workout, or 1 or 2 reps behind Ricky Garrard in that workout. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then I just went all the way down. I think I finished in like 60th place or something like that after that. So Missed out in 2023, which was a shame, and then obviously qualifying in 2024 as an individual for the first time, and really excited going into that year. And then obviously 2025 joining the CrossFit Build team and going on a team again. Obviously finishing third.
Why did you not persevere with an individual track? Why did you not do that? Like, what made you decide to go team?
In 2024, when I went as an individual, me and my wife, obviously, we just had one kid at the time. We just had our eldest boy, who is Cooper. He's 6 now, so I think he was maybe one and a bit. And then my wife was pregnant for the back end of 2020. I think it was like 2022, 2023. So, and then we had my daughter as well, who was super young, and I just couldn't put the time and effort into the training that I needed to perform at the high level as an individual.
Okay,
so
young kids.
Hang on, I think she's just putting your brother to sleep. Okay, that was my daughter.
You guess another guest. Okay, no, that's okay.
Yep. Oh, she is camera shy. She'd tell you nothing.
Oh, okay.
So I obviously having 2 kids at that stage, it was kind of like, well, I now need to take some eggs out of this basket and put into this basket. So I just knew that I couldn't perform at that, the level that I would be satisfied with to then go into the season as an individual. But I knew that I was going to be able to still train at a high level, that I could use those abilities in a team environment. So obviously then, went on a team with that, and obviously we did exceptionally well, getting 3rd place there. And then obviously coming into this year, my wife and I welcomed obviously my 3rd child at the middle of last year. I would say little Austin, but he's a big tank. So Austin, who's now 10 months old.
Yeah.
And then it kind of flipped again to say, well, I'm not going to have the time and effort to put into a team, and travel and go for training sessions, down at Bill. So all my training is going to have to be done at home, and it's just going to have to be, me and in between 4 walls, and and go from there. So that's kind of what panned out. It was one of those things where I just couldn't put in the effort that I knew that I needed to perform.
So how do you know where you are though, Nathan? Like when you're training individually, like you're not part of a group like Proven, you're not like connecting with people to find out how fast they're moving. Like, how do you know where you're actually sitting? Like it's pretty impressive that you get to semifinals and you train individually all by yourself.
Yeah. So I have a fantastic coach, Coach Jaden, who is a part of the Brute Strength.
Shout out to Jaden.
Yeah, massive shout out to Jaden. I without a doubt, I would not be in the position that I am in any sort of CrossFit competing without Jaden. And I actually started getting coached by Jaden just after my back injury in the start of 2022, and so I've been with him since then. And he's the type of coach that he's a big numbers guy, and he analyzes everything. And obviously he has a lot of semi-final athletes. He's actually the coach of Ty Jenkins, who is a CrossFit Games.
Oh
a young kid, the CrossFit Games athlete who
I think he qualified, didn't he? He just qualified.
He just qualified at Syndicate Crown.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that kid is gonna be the next best thing. The performance he put on that weekend to qualify with some tough competition and some big names,
Oh,
man, I take my hat off to him. You know,
yeah.
and so obviously Jaden's got a lot of athletes all around the world being, you know, a remote coach for Brute, where he can kind of see the training that I'm doing. He can see the times that I'm putting in and stuff like that on certain workouts, and he can, you know, annualize and see where I kind of sit. And then, you know, every once in a while, I do get a get out of jail free card with with the wife, and I will head down to Bill, and I do jump in with kind of like their compete squad down there, and you know, have a few workouts with obviously Adam and the crew down there. So I do kind of dip my toe in places here and there just to see where I'm at and kind of where I sit. But really, it just comes down to kind of to luck. I think I just have to. A big thing that Jaden has always said to me is, you know, trust the process. You know, if you trust the process in your programming and you trust the process in your ability, you're going to perform and you're going to be able to succeed at a high level. And you know, I'm the type of athlete where if I came to you know, a coach and said, "This is my schedule, this is how many hours I can train," you know, get me to the semifinals, that coach would probably be like, "Look, maybe let's try and and aim for a little bit of a smaller goal." But I think it just comes, as I said, it just comes down to the passion that I have for competing and for training CrossFit. That's a big, you know, a motivator in competing at a high level.
How did you pick Jaden? Like, where does that come from? He's an American fellow. How did you find him?
Yeah. So he's a local guy as well. So
okay.
So I used to be a head coach at an affiliate that an affiliate we do not speak of no more.
Okay.
No longer an affiliate.
there's some politics, right? Okay,
That rhymes with Durban. Rhymes with
Okay.
Durban. That's the one.
Yeah, it's like Voldemort. You just don't say the name.
Yep.
So I used to be the head coach there, and then I was at the stage where I obviously having a young family and needed to step away from coaching, and Jaden came in and kind of replaced me.
Okay.
And I was still in the gym training. Excuse me. I was still in the gym training, and we just built a friendship up first. And I think the love and the passion that we had for the sport, we kind of bonded straight away, and that's where we clicked. So Jaden was kind of building himself up as a coach, as a PT, and stuff like that, and he started to wanting to get into remote coaching, and he came to me one day. I was actually on just kind of like a programming. I was on HWPO track when it first came out, and Jaden came to me. He's like, "Hey, I've got this idea. I want to kind of pursue a career in remote coaching and programming, and do you want to kind of be my test dummy?" And me and Jaden had trained together, and we were friends, and I didn't even think about it twice. I was like 100%, like I would love to. So it was kind of like that. And as I said, I've been with Jaden before he, you know, got to where he is now. So I've seen the hard work that he's put in to get to where he is now. And excuse me. And you know, in CrossFit, you have these big name coaches out there that, you know, kind of have their name stamped in CrossFit history. You know, you've got Shane Orr, you've got Ben Bergeron, you know, and so many others. I without a doubt would put Jaden against them when it comes to programming and stuff like that. And I think Jaden with 100% could hold his own and probably, you know, out program some of them. And that's not me, you know, kind of talking down on the other coaches, but I just see the work he puts in, the time and the effort and the passion that he has for it. You know, Jaden's a semi-final athlete as well. He's been to the Torian Pro on a team. You know, he was a part of the CrossFit Build team last year. He was the other male on that team. But he stepped aside of his competitive career to be a full-in coach. You know, and that's something that I show a lot of respect to, where he can step aside of something that he had a lot of passion and had worked hard for, to now take on this new journey and to build this new career in this same, obviously, space, but different pathway. And, you know, he's a part of...
Has he got a lot of athletes under him, or does it all just fall under Brute?
Yeah. So he's got.
own brand.
I don't know the number exactly. I know he has a few semi-final athletes in Oceanic, obviously at the Torian Pro. So he's actually the coach for, obviously, myself, Julia Hannaford, Gemma Huff,
Yep.
Lachlan Park. So he's coaching these guys now. So he's got contenders in Oceanic. And then obviously he's got a lot of semi-final athletes in, obviously, the US and Europe and stuff like that. But then
did he nab Hayley Adams when she's come over? Because she's just joined Brute. I see she's left.
He didn't quite get Hayley. I think that would be pinnacle of coaching there if you're taking on someone like Hayley Adams as their coach. So. He's only been with Brute, I think, 2 years, and you know what I mean. So I have a lot of respect for him. And, I could probably sit here for another hour and talk about the work he has done to get to where he is. So, you know, me and Jaden, we just click very well, and as I said, it comes back to the passion we have for the sport.
Yeah,
and that's why we work so well together.
And does he coach you in all things, like nutrition, like recovery, CrossFit? Like where do you get that from if you don't get it from him?
So yeah, he's my coach when it comes to programming, competition prep, and all types of training based. Nutrition work and recovery. Nutrition work is kind of off my own back of a lot of research and, you know, just kind of sitting in front of a computer and Googling trial and error, in stuff like that. I've worked with one or two sports nutritionists, you know, just getting advice off them and kind of talking to them on what's the best, you know, meal plan and, you know, pre-comp and intra-comp, you know, kind of nutrition that I would need. So I've kind of done that. And then recovery. Recovery is something that I try and get as much recovery in as I can, but having 3 kids and, you know, from 6, 3 and 10 months old, recovery is quite hard these days. You know, sleep is something that is definitely a big thing when it comes to recovery, and obviously I'm not fortunate enough to have, you know, 8 to 10 hours every night of sleep, but at the same time I wouldn't change it, and I don't think I would be the athlete that I am if I didn't have those outside of, you know, kind of training and outside of CrossFit duties. So, you know, obviously when it comes to recovery though, like obviously a big thing comes down to your nutrition and your diet, making sure that you're fueling your body. You know, you've got to make your nutrition to the point where it's going to fuel the machine in a way, and that's how you have to, you know, kind of work it out. So I am pretty strict when it comes to my diet, and that's all year round. It's not like that's just on season, off season type things. That's all year round. I'm pretty strict. It does frustrate my wife sometimes when we try and go out for dinner and I'm ordering just a steak and some steamed veggies, and stuff like that. But
I didn't hear too many carbs in that. That excites Dave and I, because we have interesting views on nutrition in terms of very keto / carnivore, as opposed to the kind of carb centric approach that a lot of CrossFit athletes take. So good to hear you doing that.
yeah, for sure. Obviously, carbs are obviously a big energy source for us. It is fuel, and a lot of people think that I just eat chicken and rice and broccoli. They just think that that's the normal. If you want to be fit and healthy, that's what you've got to eat. But I do eat quite a lot of carbs. I'm eating pastas and rices and breads and all those processed sugars and stuff like that. And it's not, and it's because I need to. It might not be because I want to. It's because I need to. Because I need to fuel, the training that I've just done or I'm about to do. And I definitely get a teased, I would say, from the family, thinking that I'm just eating the simplest things. But I definitely done my research where I know that I need to be eating these, high carb, high sugar, foods to fuel myself.
What sort of body weight do you run at? What do you feel like is your optimal sort of power to weight ratio?
Yeah, so it's probably about 80, 87, 88.
Mm-hmm.
Probably where I sit pretty all year round. Sometimes I do get a little bit heavier towards that 90 kilos, and I can feel like that I get a bit sluggish. And it's only 2 or 3 kilos, but my gymnastic feels a little bit heavier.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the body weight movements start to slow down and stuff. Obviously, the barbell then definitely feels better for that aspect. But yeah, so I like to sit around 87, 88 kilos.
Do you think that you can maintain strength and power without getting a little bit heavier?
Most definitely. I'm actually probably the strongest I would be probably now than I've ever been, and I'm still sitting around that 87, 88 kilos. So
because a lot of people think, I've got to put on weight to get stronger, and I just disagree with that.
Sure.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And a big thing that I think to answer that question is, I really love just like the weightlifting, not exactly doing it like and competing in it, but I love watching it. You look at some of these Chinese weightlifters.
Yeah, the featherweight, the lightweights, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's, they're 60, 70 kilos and they can clean and jerk 200 kilos.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so I understand that weight moves weight. That's a big thing that people think. And yeah, sure. But I reckon, some of these 70, 80 kilo weightlifters could humble a lot of these big guys.
Yeah. It's central nervous system and acceleration. Acceleration, F equals ma, right? The mass is a factor, but it's the physical formula is force equals mass times acceleration. Yeah. And acceleration is central nervous system. It's how quickly you can send the neurotransmitter from the nerve to the muscle, and how much muscle density you're contracting. You don't need to be a massive big guy to achieve that. It's just training the nervous system.
Yeah.
But, how many hours a day? You get up at 4 a.m. Do you flap around for a while before you actually go into the gym? Or
So the routine and the time schedule is pretty spot on each day. So I'm up at 4 o'clock and I'll be in the gym by 4:30, the latest.
Yep. Alarm clock? Do you need an alarm clock?
Yeah, I have an alarm clock. Yeah. But that's probably lately I'm definitely been up before my alarm. Obviously, having the young kids and stuff like that. So alarm clock 4 o'clock. And I'm the type of person where I will prep everything the night before.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't waste any time finding my gym clothes or, making,
They're all laid
my
out.
drinks or anything. It is laid out the night before, and I
Mm.
won't go to bed until it is. And that's where I like my routine, and that's where I like to have everything organized in that aspect. So everything is laid out to the point where I will be in the gym no later than 4:30. I'll be rolling out and stretching by 4:30 the latest.
Yep.
And then I train from, let's say, from kind of start to finish, anywhere from 4:30 to anywhere between 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Okay. That's a long session.
So yeah, and it's
2 hours.
one session a day. That's
Okay.
it's one session at the moment. It's one session a day.
Mm-hmm.
Priorities are different in the afternoon and the night time.
So you got to the semi-finals doing one session a day. Is that what you're telling me, or you're doing one session a day now?
One session a day. Not and Jaden actually programs for me to get the session done within 90 minutes.
Wow.
Within 90 minutes. So whenever we kind of talked about how we would lead into any type of prep, and it can be for Torian, it can be for obviously down under or anything like that. We aim for 90 minutes, and me and Jaden have been working so long now that he knows my weaknesses probably better than I do. Where he goes, we're gonna our main focus is obviously working on our weaknesses, and then anything else kind of built around that. Obviously, sometimes it might take me a little bit longer. Obviously, sometimes I might have to run and grab a bottle for the kids or a water or some brekkie and stuff. So that session does get stretched out a little bit. Usually he will program it for 90 seconds, 90 minutes. Sorry, and when I get closer to competition, then I might be very, very lucky to get maybe a second session in. And that might be anywhere from some sort of, conditioning piece, a run, a zone 2, or whatever it is. The wife does give me a get out of jail free card, especially when we're getting closer to a competition. So, but yes, my sessions will last from anywhere between 90 minutes to 2 hours max.
Okay, so it's 6 o'clock. It's 6:30 in the morning. What are you doing for the rest of the day, Nathan?
Yeah, so finish training, and then it's dad duties. So it's getting the kids ready. It's getting the kids brekkies, getting the the bags packed and kind of ready for school and kindy. My son's in year 1 in school. My daughter's obviously in kindy, and then obviously we got our 10-month-old that is staying home. But it's just getting them ready for the day, and then getting myself ready for work as well. I work full time. I'm a disability support worker.
So does that give you flexibility in terms of the hours that you work, or is that are you quite strict around that?
Yeah, it's not really. I usually do 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, okay.
10 to 12-hour shifts. So I'll do probably 9 till 8, 9 till 9. Sometimes I might get a shorter day where it'll be 9 till 4, 9 till 5. So yeah, it's pretty much up, train, when I finish training, sort the kids out, get them off to school, go to work, come home. If the kids are still up, help to do bed, nighttime routine, and then it's in bed for myself.
So you're not going to bed particularly early. If you do a 12-hour, 10-hour shift, you're coming home and it's already not 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. That's not an early night, especially getting up at 4 again.
Yeah, my wife would probably say this, but sometimes I do prioritize trying to get to bed over doing the housework and the other chores, the other husband duties that I would have to do. So I try to get to bed, as early as I can. Anywhere between 9 and 10.
Jeez, that's not that. That's not
a big day.
Mm.
There's
You're not having a little nanny nap at work, are you?
I wish. I wish. Yeah,
Just sort
no,
of
I wish I could.
getting your getting your clients off to sleep and then just having a little nap on the lounge.
That'd be great. That would be great. So,
Okay. Yeah.
so yeah, the days are quite full on. The days are quite
Yeah.
full on.
Yeah.
But that morning time in the morning is, it's a big thing. It's a big thing for me, just for obviously, for me who I am as a person, just having that training time.
Mhm.
But obviously, trying to compete as well. But I could not do any of this without my wife. Like that's
Mm.
and you talk and you talk to athletes and who are obviously her partners and stuff like that. I could not do what I do today without her. As I said, we are very blessed to have three beautiful kids. And my wife Rihanna is, she's 1 in 8 billion. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
She puts up with a lot when it comes to me. Competition time for me, I do kind of zone in, and I
Yeah.
do get very focused on training and competing. And it's like, if I'm not training, I'm not thinking about training. I'm thinking about competing. I'm thinking about CrossFit. Or I'm thinking about, okay, what have I got to eat? What, and stuff like that. So my brain is always going when it's competition time, and she's amazing. She supports me. She was there all weekend with the three kids. And though my kids they're full on, they're energetic, they're loud, and everything like that. So she's putting in the time and effort with them, so I can do what I love.
Mhm.
And she can see that this makes me happy. She can see that, hey, he's pretty decent at this. He's pretty
Mm.
good at this. So
Mm.
she sacrifices so much
Mm.
for me to be able to do this. So I really do, and I probably don't give her enough credit, in person to her, but without a doubt, I would not be in the situation I am without her. And
Oh man,
she's amazing.
we've got 3 minutes of you just saying how awesome your wife is. So we'll put a little video together
That's going up.
and
That's going
tag
up on
her,
the
right?
Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll tag. You got to tell us your wife's Instagram tag, and we'll tag her so she sees it.
for sure. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's just her name. Just go Rian Corden. Rian underscore Corden. So,
So how do you
but
spell Rian?
no,
Is it R?
it's REARNE.
Yep. Okay. Like Leanne, but with an
We
R,
are.
like
Yeah.
Rian, yeah.
kind of thing. Yep.
You
Awesome.
look like
Cool.
you got a beautiful family, and that's probably part of the secret is having that support all the time, and also developing resilience. Like nothing, it's not just a perfect training session every time, and that's the 11th domain of this sport. How we talk about the 10 domains of fitness, like having
Yeah,
resilience, because it's not all just lining up for you like some of these athletes who've just got they're handlers almost.
Well, I think it's pretty crazy, Dave. Like the fact that you can get to the semi-final games at this level with
Mm,
2 hours a day.
mm, mm,
I think
mm,
that's. I'll take my hat off to you, Nathan. Like that's phenomenal. Like
I,
you
I,
look at
I
all these
appreciate that.
people, like the Justins and the Darwin Peppers, and they're training 2-3 times a day, and they're just
Yeah,
that's all they're doing. But like a full-time job, a family of three, and you're still making it to the semi-final games. There's just
yeah.
no excuses for any of us when you see that type of thing. So it's pretty bloody
uh,
awesome, mate.
Yeah.
no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
So I want to
So
see you get to the next level now, man. I'm excited.
what are the
So
what are the aspirations? What are you deep down are
Yep,
you a games athlete? Is that where you see
for
yourself?
sure,
Yep.
for sure, for sure. It's the goal, and it will be the goal probably for the rest of my life. And it can come as in a team. It can come in 10 years when I'm in the masters or whatever it is. I'm really big on kind of visualizing and kind of seeing where I should be. And I just, yeah, I do see myself at the games. I do. And as I said, Unfortunately, I think I've come to the realization now that I don't think it will be as an individual. And that's okay. I've kind of accepted that. But in a team, in masters, or it's something that I definitely see myself doing. And obviously, that's the main goal. That's the pinnacle of our sport. That's our Super Bowl. And like to make it to the CrossFit Games in any sort of category is phenomenal. And I know a few people, obviously, being surrounded by Adam and Jay Lee, and them being 2 times CrossFit Games athletes in a team. I look up to them. There's another lady that I know who trains at another gym on the Gold Coast, and she's in the Masters division. She just qualified for her 3rd Masters, and she's in the over 50s. She's an incredible athlete, and I look up to them, and they're doing what I want, and I kind of look at it as, and I think to myself that, in another world or another universe, if I didn't have the responsibilities that I have, which I would never give up for in the world, you couldn't pay me enough, I could see myself as a games athlete. I could definitely see myself as a contender or a top 10 athlete in Oceanic. And I said, obviously, I have those outside responsibilities, which, as I said, would never give up. In the world, having the 3 kids and my beautiful wife, that's a different type of achievement. So yeah, I'm always pushing. The goal kind of, or the what's next, who knows? If we find the right people, I would go team next year and have a crack, most definitely. Me and Jaden have definitely spoken about it, and another thing that me and Jaden kind of click on is, I think he can see my goal as well, and he knows how much it would mean to me to get there. We always kind of said that we would do it together, and last year we could have, but obviously now him taking that kind of full-time coach's role, we could do it together, but he could be the coach and I could be the athlete. So,
do you have to think, do you consider yourself a professional athlete, like where you could stop working and CrossFit pays the bills? And that's
me personally, no. No.
Do you think that all these guys who go to the games, but that like Ricky and Jay, I don't know for sure, but like I doubt they have day jobs like yourself.
Yeah, and for sure, and obviously, it comes down to sponsorships and stuff like that. Now, when you talk about Ricky and Jay, like, it's hard to kind of compare yourself to them. They're not just the best in Oceanic. They're 2 of the best athletes in the world. You know what I mean? It's like they are they're aiming
the
to
epitome.
be. You know what I mean? They're aiming to be the Tom Brady's, the Michael Jordans of CrossFit. So they're the best in Oceanic for sure. They're also the best in the world. They're 2 guys that are fighting for a podium spot. Now, obviously, we've seen Ricky do it a few times, and Jay holding that leader's jersey and making a statement is a massive thing. So, they are professional athletes, yes, because it is their job. But you get some of these other athletes that are kind of coming up, that are a big person that I think is someone like the Martin brothers, Bailey and Riley. Riley he's a coach. I know he coaches. I think he coaches at a gym, and I think he does some programming, some one-on-one coaching and stuff like that as well. So, he's paying the bills on that side. Sponsorships is a massive thing for our sport. Now, obviously, the sponsorship deals aren't like what the NFL and all that, like these athletes would be getting paid, but and obviously going and winning competitions that have big prize money as well. So it's definitely doable. It's definitely doable to be a professional athlete. But for maybe our the bottom end of the the semi-final athletes and stuff like that, it's not doable.
It's tough.
I don't think. It's tough. And obviously in my situation, having a family, 3 kids, and got got the mortgage and you got bills and school fees and all that kind of stuff as well. It adds up. It adds up quickly. So yeah, I mean, obviously that would be unreal. Waking up every day and thinking, what have I got to do today for work? Oh, I've got to do a 5x5 back squat. I've got to
So
do.
Is it something you want to kind of get back into though? You want to get a bit more back into like the CrossFit methodology, the coaching? Because obviously you said you were a head coach. Is that something that you want to do? Because obviously you're passionate about competing and doing it, but what do you want to bring back to CrossFit?
For sure. So as I said, I've been a coach. I've been an on-floor coach, and I obviously stepped away from that in 2021. I kind of was introduced back into it in 2024 at another Gold Coast gym, CrossFit Torian. Was coaching on floor there for a little bit. The only thing that, again, it just comes down to, it's just not the best kind of work-life ratio for me. It's split shift. You've got your morning classes, you've got your night classes, your afternoon classes and stuff like that. So they're the 2 times of my day where I need to be home. I need to be dad. And I can't be, I can't be a coach or I can't be coach. But 100%, I love the coaching side of it. I love the CrossFit methodology, and obviously, having Jaden as well. I love the programming side. I love listening to how they strategize when it comes to programming and training and all that kind of stuff. I love all that stuff. I could listen to it for hours. So yeah, maybe in the future, getting back into it when the kids are a little bit older. For sure, would love to get back into it.
So what does the rest
open a box? Open a box, Nathan.
Open a box, yeah. What's the rest of the?
I think it'd be.
You know what? You never know. You never know. It's to be honest, I'm not too business savvy when it comes to all the behind the scenes. I don't think I'm smart enough for that, but.
No, your organisation, Nathan. If you're organised like you say you are, that's all you need to be. That's all you need to be. You'll be fine.
I think your passion would make it successful. Regardless, people would just drag that motivation into the membership with your own passion.
I mean, hey, you never know. You never know what's around the corner. You never know what tomorrow brings. So. I mean, it would be unreal. It would be awesome. But for right now, the priority is obviously the family. The priority is to still train and still compete. That's the thing that I love competing. I do love competing. It's something that I've always done. Obviously playing footy and stuff like that, and then obviously. Bringing that into CrossFit as well is fun. And as I said, if that's an individual, if it's in a team or anything like that. But even though without the competing side, I love training. I love the CrossFit methodology of the training.
You're in love with the process as much as the outcome.
For sure. Trust the process. Yeah. For sure.
You didn't this was Oceania last year. You were awesome at that comp. We were there. I was on the floor taking photos. I don't know if you remember. I was wandering around. Dean flew, gave me a floor pass, and let me step on the floor.
You were supposed to be doing some medical work. I don't think you did.
I was the head medic as well. Should I hope no one falls off the rig or hurts themselves? But they were paramedic, and I took this photo. And I love
Yeah.
this shirt. Like, tell us that. And you came second in this event behind Dante, didn't you?
I did.
So
I
it
lost
was a
to Dante
great
on the
performance.
final workout.
It was an awesome comp. I really enjoyed that Oceania comp. And you didn't go to
Always a
Oceania
really
this
good
year,
ride.
last week. You didn't go to this weekend, one, or just gone.
No, I didn't. I didn't. So, starting with last year, I actually was doing the qualifiers, but I actually got pretty sick when the qualifiers were happening. And I've known Dean for a couple of years. Obviously, he's owned a gym on the coast and been around the CrossFit scene on the Gold Coast. So, when Oceanic qualifiers came, I got really badly sick and ended up in hospital, unfortunately. But I actually said to my wife that I wasn't going to compete the back end of next year. Obviously, we were welcoming our third baby, and I said, look, I'll focus on the kids. I'm not going to compete. And I got to halfway through, the back end of the year, and I said to my wife, I was like, I need to do something. I was like, we just had our son, and I needed to just to get that feeling again. So I messaged Dean and I said, hey, I was like, look, I know we're about 4 weeks out from the comp. I was like, my situation. What's the chances of getting an invite? And he was like, would love to have you there.
Yep.
I was like, awesome. So started, training hard than usual for about 4 weeks or so. And then, going up to Brisbane way to do the Oceanics. And I got put into heat 1.
Yeah.
I was in the first heat all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, Dante was there, and I obviously ended up finishing in second place, 1 point behind Dante. We actually went into the final workout tied points.
Why didn't they put you in the same heat?
I was kind of like not a backfield, but I was kind of like an invite. So they just threw me on the leaderboard. And obviously, they
didn't shuffle the leaderboard or the heats based on the rankings.
No, they didn't. They left it the same. They left it the same the whole weekend. So I was in heat 1, and Dante and a few of the other boys were in heat 4.
Okay.
But that's perfect. Oh no, that's perfect, Dave, because you go out and you get this high, you set the goal every time, and these guys are going, who's this guy? What's he doing?
And
I reckon that's awesome. I reckon that's awesome.
Good. And like that's what kind of where me and Dante kind of started talking a bit. There was obviously at the comp, because it was back and forth between him and I all weekend, and we went into that final workout, and it was just a power out workout, and the dude's so powerful, so strong, and me and him were the only two athletes to finish the final workout.
Yeah,
he was awesome.
I think he beat me by like 10-15 seconds or so, and got the W. So it was a great comp. It kind of dusted the cobwebs off of what I needed for the back end of last year.
So he was pulling 3,300 on that last event in the Torian. What were you pulling on that ski? Hello, Nathan, you there?
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
Hello, mate. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, gotcha.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can hear you.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think it was the first 15, 20 cows. I got it up to maybe 2,600.
That's still amazing. When Dante got off that thing and got off in 40 seconds, it was like, oh my goodness. But then obviously it looked like, I don't know if you saw the video that Dave posted, but it looked like he passed out, man. It looked like he passed out when he got to those final 2 deadlifts. So, and I was watching your deadlift, and your deadlift, man, your back was a little bit sketchy, man, but it's 180 kilos. So, I mean, what are you going to do?
They were definitely heavy, but just going back to that last photo, that T-shirt that it said, obviously, Nathan, we are proud. That was actually given to me by my nan and granddad. So actually on the front of that shirt is a photo of my nan and granddad who on my mum's side, who they live in the UK, and they are they're two of the people that, you know, no matter what I've done in life when it comes to, you know, sports, school, anything like that, I don't think I've ever heard a negative word come out of their mouth, ever.
Mm.
And they're obviously getting to the age now where, you know, a little bit older and stuff, and they're going through a lot of medical stuff and stuff like that. And I'm super close with my nan, really super close. Even though we never had that kind of face-to-face relationship, obviously them living in the UK and me living here, me and my nan are, you know, we're super, super close. And she used to always say to me, she goes, you know, whenever I used to call her every Sunday when I was a kid in school. And she said, look, no matter what, you know, no matter what you do, no matter what you've got coming up, if it's a footy game or a test or anything like that, she goes, I'm always sitting on your shoulder. She goes, through thick and thin, no matter what, she goes, I'm always sitting on your shoulder. And so they made that T-shirt for me probably about 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I've always kept it. And obviously they're getting to the stage now where, you know, obviously it's kind of my turn to say, hey, you know, you guys are going through a lot. I'm always sitting on your shoulder. You know, and even though we can't be there face to face or anything like that, you know, I'm sitting on my shoulder. I actually got a tattoo on my shoulder of my nan's name.
Oh, wow.
On my shoulder.
Jeez.
Where is it? There it is, up on there. And I call him my nanny pickle. I don't know how the
Where that
I don't know where it came about, but it's just been our thing. And yeah, so that I wanted to wear that on the competition floor. I got some photos and I sent it to him and stuff like that. And you know, just the little things like that is big for me, especially obviously for them that they've supported me through everything, even though that they live, you know, halfway across the world. You know, they can still be some of my biggest fans. So that shirt was special. That event was special. Got the event win too. So even better.
That's awesome. That's heartwarming. We always give our guests a little bit of a pseudonym or a name, like, you know, Luke De Jong is most best hair in CrossFit, I think. I think
you don't reckon I can take that one?
I think yours is better. Yours is like the most sincere man in CrossFit. I think that's just heartwarming. That's such a heartwarming.
Yeah, 100%. So
I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you.
Bloody cool.
And mate, I didn't even know you were bald. Like, we had that first conversation at the tent, and you had the hat on, and I'm like, and then when he came out on the competition floor, I'm like, he's freaking bald. Like, what the hell? I had no idea whatsoever, and then I was like, wow, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately, I got my dad's genes on that one. All around the sides is quite thick. But it looks like I've had a fight with a burnout of a car, and it's just taken the top layer off. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's from my dad or it's having 3 kids so young.
It could be that, man. It could be that. Like, you know,
all the handstand push-ups.
That's it. I mean, I'll take it. What a shame that they're still not as good as some of these other. But we'll get there.
Mate. Hey, Nathan, I know you're going to get up at 4 o'clock. It's probably getting close to your bedtime. I hope you've set up all your gear for tomorrow.
Your protein drinks, yeah.
All done. All set it up.
Electrolytes, they're all good to go.
Luckily tomorrow's Thursday, so it's kind of a bit of an active recovery day. So.
Okay, cool.
It's nice and easy on the body. So obviously training isn't too intense at the moment. Obviously just coming off the pro, so we'll just kind of keep it light and easy and just kind of move the body. So, but yeah, everything's prepped. Clothes are out, shoes are out, drinks are made, we're ready to go.
I think I've asked most of the questions that I wanted to get from you. We can say that we'll see you at the Torian next year. That's definitely on the cards? Yeah, that's at the Torian Pro next year.
Sure.
Yep. Awesome.
100%.
We
You'll see
will.
me there as an individual or on a team.
I hope you go. I hope you go indie. I hope you go indie. Is there any other comps? Is there any other comps in the middle? Like, what would be a sort of preliminary comp that you might do before Torian Pro that we could see you at? Would you be going? Are you going to
Yeah, so
Wollongong? Are you going to
we'll
Wollongong?
probably do the down under.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably do down under qualifiers. I know that comes in the first week or so of July. So we'll probably do down under. My competitions now, I don't really do too much of the local competitions and stuff like that. And that just comes down to obviously, time. Obviously the first chunk of the year is quite full on with obviously the Open and quarterfinals and then obviously semifinals. So it's quite jam packed, quite full on. So towards the back end of the year is focus on the family and prioritize them. But we'll definitely get the fix and have a crack at down under. As I said, I don't know what they're doing this year. Obviously individual. If they're going to do pairs again, if they're going to bring back the teams or anything like that, whatever they do, but we'll have a crack and we'll do that just to dust the cobwebs off before leading into next year's season.
What about online semis, Nathan? Season's not over, dude.
Yes, online semis.
I did, and I actually got the invite, got the email, and everything like that.
Yeah.
A little bit of a secret. I've got a couple of injuries that I've had since probably quarterfinals that I just need to get sorted out. My my left elbow, I've got kind of golfer's elbow, just the inside of that elbow, flexed quite a lot. So I've got to do some work on that just to sort that out. And
just in here, just in the insertion point there. I can hook you up with something. Yeah. Yep. Let me hook you up with someone down the coast. I can help. Have you heard of Totally Legal, not peptides? I can get someone to put a little bit of platelet-rich plasma in there.
Okay.
PRP.
Yep.
Do a bit of research on it yourself. Make sure you're happy, comfortable.
Yeah.
PRP comes from your own blood. They spin it down.
Yep.
You've probably heard of it.
Yeah,
And then this ultrasound, stick it in there, let it sit for a few days, and just start a more restorative healing process. Not just cortisone, where you just plug the pain. You actually set up a little bit of a hormonal response to heal the tissue.
Okay. Yeah. No. Definitely. So I just want to work on that just to get that. And actually, at Torian on the snatch ladder or on the second event on the I think it was the the second bar, the 115 bar. I actually felt my right shoulder kind of slip in and out.
Oh shit.
And felt it slip and really what was going on. I've had it done to me before, and it didn't give me that much issues or anything like that. Just a little bit, and I was a little bit like, is this me done?
Okay.
But was able in the next coming weeks and just trying to see what the actual the problem was of it. It's not too bad now, but I just want to be healthy.
Yep.
I kind of want to be prepared for next season. I'm working with a physio at the moment. He got me through the Torian Pro which I was over the moon about. TXF physio, Jordan, he helped me out. Honestly, don't think I could have got through the rest of the weekend without him. So shout out to him. So yeah, we're just gonna work on the body, get the body healthy, get the body good. Obviously, prioritize the kids and everything like that. And in the off season, hopefully, dust the cobwebs off at the back end of the year for Down Under, and then go into next season, fitter, faster, stronger, and have a good crack.
Awesome.
All right, mate. Well, let me touch base with me if you need any help. I want to be a point of call for you athletes to get your quality care, quality body care. All right, mate.
That sounds great. Awesome. I really appreciate it. Look, thank you very much. This has been fun. This has been fun. This is my first kind of podcast.
Yeah, cool.
You're friggin' natural, Nathan. You're an absolute natural.
Rambled a little bit on.
Oh, mate, you'll get Savan calling you now, and you'll bloody get Coffee Pods and Wads, that fellow calling you. And then next minute, oh shit, I can make money out of it. I can go professional. No more disability support work. Well, Nathan, you go to bed, mate. You go to bed, eh? Have a great sleep. Get lots of Zeds, and happy training tomorrow. We'll be catching up again in the future, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Have a great night, Nathan.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. And we'll see you guys.
Okay, mate. Bye now. Bye. Woo! What a
nice
champion guy. So sincere.
What a good guy. But holy shit, Dave! Like 2 hours a day, and you get to the semi-finals of CrossFit. Like that's just freaking awesome.
I think that's like a secret, though. Like how you get those kids that the super high achievers, and you look at their family. Well, there's two types. You got the kids that come from silver spoon, and then you've got the opposite that just come from absolute poverty, and they become amazing leaders and inspirational. It's almost like that's a little bit of a one of those things that Nathan's got so much extra challenges.
He's just got so much resilience and grit, is what I would call it. He's just
grit.
So it's like, and it's perspective as well. I imagine his family just gives him perspective if things don't work out on the floor each time, right? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, headspace. That's like the X factor, right? The X factor that sometimes you can't train that. You've either got it. So I really hope he sticks. I hope he sticks with Indy, because I love the individual comp. I still love the teams, but the Indy comp, you just you can really get behind an athlete.
Oh, but come on, man! Like, you just tell me you weren't excited watching Snake Athletic kick.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Because George is our girl. She's been on the show. She's a camp guest. we love all our guests.
Yeah. And I went out. I bought they've got a supporter shirt. So anyone who wants to support
Snake Athletic.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Because they're going off to the games, which I don't think they thought they were actually going to do it. So
you bought one recently.
Yeah.
Or at the games. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they advertised it. Look, Jake's putting in the post and delivering it to me.
Oh, cool. I'll get one. I'll wear it at San Jose. I'll be there.
Yeah, get one, man. Get one.
I'll wear it at San Jose and run up to them with the mic and say, "Come on, how are you going, guys?"
But awesome show. Nice work, Dave.
Super nice fella. I really enjoyed that chat with Nathan.
I did as well. Let's go and get ourselves some burgers.
All right. See you next week, next fortnight. Another secret guest. We won't let on who it is yet, but it's going to blow your mind. It's going to be awesome too.
Could send us.
Nah. Doesn't matter. We can have a grandma on the show and we'll enjoy it.
Yeah. All right,
okay, mate. Catch ya.
See ya.